This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Go ahead.
The Titan Classic continues here at Carl Albert High School on the Oklahoma Sports Network with our final game of the day. It's a boys matchup between the Carl Albert Titans and the Collinsville Cardinals. Starting lineups about to be introduced on the floor. We'll give you the starting lineups right now. First for the Collinsville Cardinals, 9-5 on the season, coached by Todd Anderson. It's a 6-foot sophomore guard, Brevin Walters, a 5'11 senior guard, Austin Normandin, a 6'3 junior forward, Dylan Scrickles, a 6'1 senior forward, Walton Cavanaugh, and a 5'9 senior guard, Aiden Anderson. The starting lineup for the Carl Albert Titans coming in at 11-2 on the season, coached by Jay Price. At guard, a 6-foot sophomore, Delijah Matthews. At guard, a 5'7 junior, Adrian Randall. At guard, a 6'2 senior, Xavier Garcia. At guard, a 6'2 junior, Brandon Rogers. And at forward, a 6'2 junior, LeBron Royal.
We've just been notified number 3 is pronounced Circles.
Circles.
Or at least that's what I just been told by a Collinsville fan.
They would know better than me.
Me too.
5'7" guard, number 2, Adrian.
I'm actually glad they jumped in and provided that because it was not an easy one to read. The Titan Classic is brought to you by this year by J.R. Rowlett Realty. Let J.R. Rowlett find your perfect home today. Call 405-445-8971. Client focused and results driven. Call J.R. Rowlett for all your real estate needs.
Well, like I was saying in the last stream we had, Sean, when the girls were playing, this is the first time I get to see Carl Albert boys. I saw Carl Albert girls up close at the Del City Holiday Classic. So I'm amazed that I was not expecting them to be off to as good a start as they have been. So here's to see how they do, because they had 2 really good players move last year. We're joined now by our statistician, Tracy. Tracy, you might remember Jaden Hopkins and Anderson for Carl Albert. They moved on to Choctaw. But the Carl Albert basketball team so far has not missed a beat.
We've seen a lot of that this year with a lot of really good players moving from one school to another. Carl Albert, not the only school to lose a couple of good ones. So we get ready to jump. Jumping for Collinsville will be Dylan Circles.
Yeah, we got some unique names. 2 is Austin Normandin and Circles. 2 last names I don't know if I've ever seen before.
Brandon Rogers is going to be jumping for the Titans. And like we mentioned, the Titans only 2 losses on the season. As the ball goes to Carl Albert to start with Xavier Garcia. Garcia over to Rogers. And he gets it to Randall.
2-3 zone by Collinsville.
Now 3-pointer on the way from Brandon Rogers is too long, but the rebound will stay with the Titans as D'Elijah Matthews is able to corral it. Now the jump shot from the left elbow is good by Xavier Garcia. He gives the Titans the early lead.
Now he does have a little bit of experience on last year's team, but not much. He's really expanded his role, and you can see right there he has a very nice shooting touch.
Collinsville, their first offensive possession. Has Circles trying to get around his defender.
Well, foul on the floor.
Foul, Titans number 23, LeBron Royal.
LeBron Royal, by the way, very good defensive end in football, and the level of athleticism he showed on the football field was very amazing, so it'll be interesting to see how that translates on the basketball court.
Inbound goes to Aiden Anderson. Anderson picks up his dribble and gives it off to Austin Normandin. Normandin spin move, gets it down low to the low block, but the pass back out to Circles is stolen. Little Euro step there for Garcia, but the shot doesn't fall, and the rebound goes back to the Cardinals.
It's too bad because Garcia made an unbelievable defensive play, the way he rotated over to get that steal.
Long two on the way is no good for Circles. Rebound back to the Titans. Carl Albert setting up the offense with Matthews on the left wing. He gives it back to Garcia. Garcia, the only senior starter for the Titans. Now three-pointer on the way for Matthews. It's no good. Rebound goes to Collinsville. That's Walters. The sophomore guard pulling it down. He gets it back. Floater in the lane, off the glass and in for two.
I wish more players would do that. When they go straight towards the basket, the closer you get, the more it's easier just to use the backboard. So you should try to do that instead of trying to swish it when you got a lot of momentum going towards the basket.
Garcia now passing it over to Randall. Randall is going to shoot the jump shot. Not really a jump shot, more like a floater, but a floater that's shot from the free throw line. It doesn't fall, and the rebound goes back to the Cardinals. We talked about the Cardinals' uniforms in that girls' game. Also surprising colors for boys. Not what you would expect from a team called the Cardinals.
No red at all.
As this spinning jump shot from Circles doesn't fall, and the rebound goes to Garcia.
Whenever I look up their logo on the computer, I can't help but find red. So it doesn't really go with the logo, but it's a good contrast to Carl Albert.
This first half brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings at 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Three-pointer on the way for Carl Alberts, a little wide right. Rebound stays with the Titans. Matthews, but he can't control it, and it goes out of bounds off the Titans. So Collinsville will get the ball with 4:49 remaining in the first quarter.
Carl Albert going full court press. See, they trap much out of it, or if it's just kind of a show press, where not a lot of action with it.
Aiden Anderson being guarded closely by Adrian Randall. Randall pokes the ball away. Anderson diving for it on the floor, saves it and gets it to Circles. And now the pass from Kavanaugh is stolen and laid in the other way by Xavier Garcia, and right away, Collinsville coach Todd Anderson wants to take a 30-second timeout, talk things over.
You know, I remember Collinsville last year got to the state tournament, lost by 1 point to Midwest City in the first round, but that Collinsville team had a 6'9" player that was causing Midwest City some fits, and another 6'6" player. I think he hit the game-tying three. This Collinsville team, much shorter, and I think Carl Albert can take advantage of that with some good dribble penetration, but they're also going to try to take advantage of their defense. We've seen Xavier Garcia get off to a good start.
Yeah, we've already seen the Titan defense cause a couple of turnovers. You know they'll want to continue to do that as this game progresses, as the Cardinals get ready to inbound it.
And I was talking about this a moment ago, but it was kind of a show-me press by Carl Albert. Again, not a lot of action with it. It's kind of what it looks like now. At some point, though, you might start to see some trapping, some running and jumping.
Well, what you think you notice real quickly is as soon as they cross half court, that individual pressure really cranks up. The Circles, spin move.
The foul on Royal. Just saying he has hands on him. There wasn't a lot going on, but that's a second foul. So he's got to adjust to what the refs are calling, and when he plays defense, try to keep his hands off the player.
Inbound to Kavanaugh. He gets it back. Has his pass deflected away by Adrian Randall. Randall, the 1-on-2 break off the glass. He lays it in for 2. And it's a 6-2 Titan lead as they're using defense to create offense.
Randall's kind of like the 5th starter, meaning, Coach Price wasn't sure if he was going to start this game or not, decided to go with that, and he pays off right there with a layup.
Three-pointer from Circles is short. Rebound is still loose, finally brought in by Randall, but in trying to save it, throws it away to Collinsville, who then throws it away themselves. Back to Carl Albert.
It's like that Carl Albert mystique. You come to Carl Albert, you want to play him well, you're in for a battle, and you just you try too hard and make some unforced errors.
As if they're not going to force enough errors on their own. The last thing you need to do is create them yourself. Pass deflected.
I thought it was deflected.
I thought it was deflected as well, but it goes out of bounds off of Carl Albert. So Collinsville inbound on the baseline.
Probably bringing Jordan Hawkins in. So going with a guard to replace LeBron Royal. Royal's probably like a 4 or 5 player for him on defense.
Normandin spins at the right elbow. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebound goes back to the Titans. It's Elijah Matthews. Gets it over to Garcia. Now down to Rogers on the right elbow. His jump shot's no good, but right there for the rebound is Jordan Hawkins.
Trying to find Brandon Rogers in the high post.
Garcia tries to drive on Normandin, gets cut off. Entry pass is deflected. It ends up in Collinsville.
Again.
Try to get cute with the pass on the break, and
you just throw. It's like a bowling ball pass, but that's too fast to catch up with that.
That's 5 turnovers for Collinsville already.
Thank you, Tracy. And yes, again, we kind of saw the Collinsville girls play like that too. And they're probably, in neither case, are they going to win a track meet with Carl Albert. So
defense from both these Titans teams, the girls and the boys, just causing turnovers and creating offense for the Titans. It's Hawkins over to Austin Johnson, who just checked in. Now three-pointer is on the way and good for Jordan Hawkins. His Bobby Lewis Insurance three-pointer, surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you in Choctaw at 405-281-6700 and Del City at 405-670-3665. Walters trying to get around his defender, instead has it taken away by Hawkins. Hawkins on the break is fouled.
I could see that maybe Coach Price was thinking about starting Hawkins over Randall, and both have played well, so you can see why he would consider either one.
A foul's going to go on Cal Scholleman, and it's going to be a shooting foul. So that's going to send Hawkins to the free throw line to shoot 2. His first Toonie Buys Homes free throw is no good.
Both teams going, especially Carl Albert, deep to their bench. After all, you're going to play 3 games in 3 days. So Ryan Reynolds, remember that name, not the actor. They had a player named Ryan Reynolds, Carl Albert did. Now his brother will check in, Rex.
Hawkins knocks down the second free throw, and it's a 10-2 Titans lead here early. Cal Scholleman running the offense now for the Cardinals. Tries the entry pass down low to Circles. It's deflected. It's got to go out of bounds off of Carl Albert. Collinsville inbound.
I think that's Darian Thomas, a sophomore who you can tell he's got a strong build to him, who got that deflection.
Carl Albert not making any pass easy for Collinsville. Yeah, they're contesting everything.
They're trying to post up Thomas, which makes sense because he's only 5'11", but he's going to make it hard on you.
A foul is going to be called on Darian Thomas. His first personal, the 3rd team foul against the Titans. It's Aiden Anderson. He gives it up to Scholleman. Cross-court pass.
Good deflection. He deflected it off the Collinsville player, talking about Hawkins.
They were trying to get it in the corner to Aiden Anderson, but Hawkins deflected it, and then when trying to corral it, Anderson had to go off of him out of bounds, and it's another Collinsville turnover here in the first quarter.
Austin Normandin checks back in. Collinsville still going zone.
Rex Reynolds on the left wing to Rogers, now back to Reynolds. Rogers on the free throw line to Austin Johnson. This shot's no good. Rebound will go to the Cardinal. Austin Normandin pulls it down. Over in the corner to Jarrett Bristol. Now back to Normandin. Trying to drive around his defender. He's caught off on the baseline. Now they get a good look under the basket and draw the foul on Austin Johnson. With the finish for Collinsville was Jarrett Bristol, the 6'2 junior guard. Had a chance to go to the line to complete a traditional three-point play with his Toonie Buys Homes free throws. Toonie Buys Homes in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, please give them a call for a cash offer, 405-931-3046, as the free throw is no good and the rebound ends up in the hands of Darian Thomas.
That's had to be about 6 minutes since Collinsville scored. They had a basket kind of early in the game, and they were stuck at 2 for a while.
Carl Albert looking like they're content with waiting to take that final shot, now with 15 seconds remaining in the court.
They're attacking the zone here. You want to initiate something around 10 seconds, so they're waiting on that. So I don't know if they're going to get a good look, but we'll see.
Rogers tries to drive into the lane, gets a good look on the floater. Thought it was too hard, but he gets the roll, and that's going to bring it in to the first quarter. We're after one. Carl Albert all over Collinsville. They lead 12-4. This is the Titan Classic on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Welcome back to Carl Albert High School and the Titan Classic here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're second quarter about to get underway with the Titans leading 12-4.
You know, I look forward to talking more about Brandon Rogers as he finally got going. He wasn't doing much on offense until that last basket, but for Collinsville, that's pretty bad defense. You have a 2-3 zone. It's meant to protect the paint, and you let someone start from the top of the key and get almost all the way to the basket and get an easy shot off. Very surprised at that defensive collapse there.
Collinsville taking it into the paint, then pulling it back out. Normandin almost has his pass deflected out of bounds, but it ends up in the hands of his intended Aiden Anderson. Anderson misses and gets his own rebound. The jump shot from Walters is no good, but another Collinsville rebound, and they throw it away. Into the hands of Rex Reynolds. Reynolds quickly down court to Rogers. Rogers, three-pointer from the corner is long. And the rebound went to
nice
Collinsville, but Hawkins poked it away, and it's laid in by Austin Johnson, and it's a 10-point Carl Albert lead, 14-4.
Jordan Hawkins has made a good impact since coming in the game.
Tie up at the free throw line. It's going to be a jump ball.
And a warning for Coach Todd Anderson. He thinks more fouls should be called against Carl Albert, would be my guess.
What coach doesn't think more fouls should be called against the opposing team?
Yeah, that's true. He's more vocal about it.
Possession's going to keep it with the Titans. Or send it to the Titans, I guess. As they get a good look with Rogers at the free throw line.
Play. Let's see if we get that.
Alley-oop to Austin Johnson to finish it off.
We got a replay for you there. What a great set play. I'll tell you this about Coach Price. His teams are prepared against the zone.
Nice pass underneath and a good finish for Collinsville.
Very good cut.
That was Walton Cavanaugh finishing underneath the basket on the pass from Brevin Walters. As Rogers now pulls it back out to reset with 6:13 in the first half. Rogers now over to Hawkins. Nice pass down to Johnson. He can't get his shot to fall, and the rebound is going to go to the Cardinals. Talked about the trap earlier on the pressure. There it was.
Yeah, so they kind of do like a show-me press, as I've been calling it. At some point, don't be surprised if Carl Albert starts to do a little bit more in trap like they did there.
Rex Reynolds gets called for the foul, though. It's his first personal and the first team foul against the Titans with 5:47 left in the second. Adrian Randall trying to get around his defense, gets a nice entry pass, but then Circles has his pass deflected and stolen. Back come the Titans the other way. Three-pointer on the way, in and out for Jordan Hawkins. The rebound goes to Collinsville. Collinsville trying to get the ball up the court as quickly as possible, and they do. Almost another steal there by the Titans. As it is, Normandin got to the bucket, can't get the layup to fall, and Carl Albert with the rebound.
Again, Kralvich is speeding up Collinsville, and Collinsville does not look very comfortable on offense with that.
Back and forth now between Matthews and Thomas. Now Austin Johnson kicking out in the corner to Rogers for three, and he knocks it down. Excuse me, that was Rex Reynolds for three.
Just very good ball movement.
That three-pointer brought to you by Bobby Lewis Insurance. The Titans get it right back. Hawkins tries to drive baseline. He's going to step out of bounds. Turn the ball over back to Collinsville. 19-6. Carl Albert has opened up a big lead here in the first half over Collinsville with 4:39 remaining. The Titans doing an excellent job defensively. An even better job of creating offense off their defense.
We have 21 on the scoreboard. They have 19 on the official scoreboard. We'll see if that gets lined up or not. Meanwhile, I thought Hawkins probably got fouled there, but because Coach Anderson of Collinsville argued against Carl Albert getting back calls, that led to that no call there, and then they make a three.
Cal Scholeman with the three-pointer brought to you by Bobby Lewis Insurance. Now you got Darian Thomas, cross-court pass into the corner to Rex Reynolds. Down low to Johnson, turnaround jump shot is good. Austin Johnson having a really nice first half.
You know, Carl Albert has done they fell asleep there to Carl Albert. Never mind, I was going to compliment him. And a missed gimme by Collinsville. Just a rough shooting night for him.
Jared Bristol.
And then to a ref.
Bristol had the perfect look underneath the basket. And then Scholeman just not sure where his man was going to go. Threw that one out of bounds. So it's another Cardinal turnover.
You know, Collinsville's jerseys are kind of gray, and so are the refs' shirts.
It would be, if you're looking for someone in a hurry,
yeah,
it could happen. Jump shot from the free throw line, no good there for Rex Reynolds. Scholeman with the rebound.
Almost another unbelievable mistake.
Instead, the Cardinal end up getting the ball across half court. It might be advisable to them to slow it down a little bit, set up something, but they're going to draw the foul at the bucket there with Aiden Anderson.
Rex Reynolds be called for the foul again. I give credit to Collinsville's Todd Anderson, their head coach. He's lobbying for calls his way, and I think he's gotten a couple of questionable ones since then, since he got a warning.
First free throw is on the way, and that's good for Anderson. I asked this question on a game the other night to my to my color guy. I was, if you're an official and a coach is on you about something like that, how much does that actually affect your calls? And as you can see, sometimes it does, as the second free throw is no good, but it goes out of bounds off the Titans and will stay with the Cardinals.
I think what you do, I'm not an official at all, but I think what you do is if you hear the refs, lobbying for calls, you just try to be open-minded about it. But what that leads to is you're starting to see exactly what he wants you to see.
That's exactly what I was thinking as well. Then you start paying a little too much attention as another three-pointer there for Cal Scholeman. His second of the quarter cuts the lead to 8, 21-13.
So a couple threes for Collinsville, and that's all it takes, Sean, in basketball. A couple threes, and the next thing you know, you're right back in it.
There's a three-pointer on the way for the Titans. No good, and the rebound ends up in the hands of Kavanaugh. He gets it out to Anderson. Anderson thinks about it. Now he's going to shoot the three. In and out, no good. Rebound to Normandin. His putback is good. 21-15 now. Collinsville finds themselves back in this game.
Yeah, starting to feel it now. And, Carl Albert's not a big team, so you can get some offensive rebounds against him. Nice
job right there by Johnson to fake the jump shot and get the defense to collapse and get Thomas an excellent look underneath the basket.
Carl Albert has hit the high post really well. It's mostly been Rex Runnels catching the ball in the high post, along with some Austin Johnson as well. Collinsville has maintained that they want their 2-3 zone defense, though, so I'm interested to see how they adjust, if at all. But that's how you attack most zones, except for maybe a 1-3-1. You want to get the ball to the high post.
Darian Thomas knocks down both of his Toonie buys Holmes free throws and is now back to an 8-point lead, 23-15. As the Titans, some full court pressure. Now Collinsville with Jarrett Bristol giving it off. Jump shot in the lane is good for Walton Kavanaugh.
This is where Carl Albert starts to miss LeBron Royal. He, of course, has 2 fouls. That's why we haven't seen much of him.
Like you mentioned, a defensive end on the football field, so while he lacks in height, he makes up for in width. Is a body in the lane that's going to make some of those shots a little bit more difficult to come by.
Yeah, just rebound better.
Now, we have an open three on the way for Matthews. It's too long. Rebound goes to Anderson for the Cardinals. Quickly up court to Scholeman. His three-pointer is no good. Rebound goes to Darian Thomas. Out on the break. Tries to get it to Randall. Randall has to corral it and bring it back in. Then tries to pass it underneath, I think, but there was some miscommunication and it goes out of bounds, and that'll give it back to Collinsville.
I was about to compliment Randall for pulling that ball out when he didn't have a chance at a layup there and being patient with the ball, and then he kind of made an impatient play even though it wasn't a shot attempt.
Checking out for Collinsville is Jarrett Bristol. He's replaced by Dylan Circles.
Let's see if Collinsville looks to go inside the circles. He showed some ability to score in the paint.
6'3", 160 is Circles. He's got the ball in his hands right now with a minute left in the first half.
Good attack.
And then the three-pointer on the way is no good. The rebound to Matthews. Matthews quickly out to Randall. Randall had Royal. Now gets it to him. Unfortunately, the defense had time to catch up. But Royal's pass is stolen away by Anderson. Now the three-pointer for Collinsville is on the way, and it is good for Austin Normandin. Bobby Lewis Insurance three-pointer, and that's the third three-pointer of the quarter for Collinsville.
Carl Albert has not been the same when Brandon Rogers came out.
That is a good point, because they, at one point, I believe, had a 19-6 lead. And now it's 23-20. So Collinsville, an excellent job of not collapsing after falling behind early. It's Carl Albert with 8 seconds left, looking for that final shot. Garcia picks it up. He's going to shoot the three, and he knocks it down at the buzzer to build the lead out to 6. Xavier Garcia with the three-pointer, and Carl Albert is going to go into the locker room with a 26-20 lead.
Nothing like hitting a three when the other team has all the momentum.
That's going to bring an end to the first half of action here at the Titan Classic. We'll be back with the second half right after this. This is the Titan Classic on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brumped it all right. What a burger.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese, it's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-64...
The Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit at Whataburger, available from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. Only it's not that time right now, so it's not available. Instead, we must sit here until 11 p.m. watching footage of the flaky, crispy, buttery goodness that is the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit. Once again, our desires are denied by, ooh, look, the Honey Barbecue Chicken Strip Sandwich. That'll hold us over till 11 p.m. What a burger.
Welcome back to the Titan Classic here at Carl Albert High School on the Oklahoma Sports Network, brought to you by J.R. Rowlett Realty. Client-focused, results-driven. Call J.R. Rowlett for all your real estate needs at 405-445-8971. Once a Titan, always a Titan. Use J.R. Rowlett. He is a Titan for all your real estate needs. 26-20, Carl Albert leads as we enter the second half, which is brought to you by CK12 Designs. They have a new showroom located on Automobile Alley in Oklahoma City across from Hideaway Pizza. Give them a visit at 820 North Broadway, also at 8209 Northeast 23rd Street as Collinsville has the ball first as we get underway here in the second half. And they get a good look at a three-pointer, and it is good for Walton Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh with four points in the first half. That three gives him 7 in the game and cuts that Titan lead to 3.
Cavanaugh had 6 boards in the first half as well.
Good first half there by Walton Cavanaugh. As this Collinsville team has done a good job climbing back into this game. Three-pointer on the way is no good for Rogers. Rebound Collinsville. That's Dylan Circles. Circles went scoreless in the first half. Now it's Cavanaugh again being guarded much more tightly, this time with Garcia. But Collinsville gets another good look at a three, but Aiden Anderson's shot a little too strong. Brandon Rogers with the rebound. He draws the foul.
Brandon Rogers is probably the best returning player for Carl Albert when you consider his contributions to last year's team. He also doesn't play football like Elijah Matthews or LeBron Royal, so he's been with basketball since August. And we'll have to talk more about him. He hasn't looked to shoot much here. We'll see if that starts to change.
That earlier foul was on Brevin Walters, his first. Jump shot's no good, but Royal with the rebound, kicks it back out for 3, and Rogers knocks down the 3. He now has 5 points, and it's back to a 6-point lead for the Titans.
Royal made that happen because he's not just a strong defensive end, he is quick. And he moves so well.
Three-pointer on the way for Collinsville is too long. That was Circles. Back come the Titans with Randall. Back to Rogers for 3. He's short. Rebound being fought for underneath the basket, and LeBron Royal is right there to put it in. His first 2 points of the game.
And I think he was a little disappointed. He didn't get to play more in the first half because of foul trouble. And now he is disregarding his foul situation. He's a beast on the offensive glass right now.
And he's a beast right there as he just takes it away from Circles. Now back come the Titans, and that might be a charge, and it is. Garcia went up, wasn't sure what he was going to do, and unfortunately for him, he had Austin Norman standing right there, decided not to try to take the shot and get rid of it, but gets called for the offensive foul.
Sometimes calling an offensive foul is easy, and that was one of those times. There's no question.
No question, yep. Circles, it's been quiet so far. Cross court to Anderson. Anderson drives by Randall. Ball knocked loose. Now the three-pointer is on the way for Collinsville. Little left, but the rebound goes to Walters, and his putback is good. Brevin Walters now with 4 points.
He just snuck in, crashing from the baseline. Timed that box out very well, keeping Collinsville at arm's length here.
Rogers standing on the right wing. Over to Matthews. Now Matthews gets it in the corner to Randall. He gets it to Royal in the lane. Cutting to Matthews. Matthews scoop shot no good. Rebound ends up with Garcia. His putback's no good, and it goes out of bounds.
It's a very quiet game for Elijah Matthews. I don't even know if he scored yet.
He hasn't.
But
he had no points in the first half.
Now, I know I'm familiar with him from football, too. He's one of the running backs.
Inbounds pass is stolen by Walters.
Definitely a foul there on Rogers.
That foul is going to, like you said, on Rogers. It's his first personal and the second team foul against the Titans.
Matthews, again, a good running back in football. I know he brings a lot to the table in basketball. We just haven't seen it yet this game. 30-second
timeout called with 4:40 left to play here in the third quarter. You talked about the guys that play football. Now, is there Anybody that for Carl Albert that might have played football, that might have played basketball, that decided to graduate early before going off to college for football, or?
It's funny you should ask that. Yeah, yes, there is. Marcus James.
There we go.
I don't know if you're familiar with him. Because he was at Bishop McGinnis his first couple of years of high school. And I remember Coach Price telling me in November, I had him on my coach's show when I was doing first semester, that Marcus James was going to graduate early. He was thinking about joining the team and playing a few games anyway in January. But as you know, football season lasts a long time at Carl Albert.
Yes, it does.
And so at that point, between the ending of football, which is extended a week this year, as you may know, and when he has to leave for OU, there just wasn't much time to do that. There really wasn't much point if he was going to leave anyway.
That is true, lad. If you're going to graduate early, why? Other than having that senior experience, and I can understand wanting to stay to play, but if you can graduate early and start college early, that's probably what you should do.
Yeah, some football players really want to play basketball one last time, or maybe run track one last time. And we may see that from, I think, Tristan Haynes and Trinae Washington. I don't think they're graduating early from Carl Albert. But Marcus decided to follow that path, and it makes a lot of sense if you can do it.
Yeah, get in there early. Get yourself seen early as the ball's deflected out of bounds, out of the hands of Circles.
Circles went right at LeBron Royal. Again, Royal's got 2 fouls and did a good job of their defending without fouling.
Collinsville inbounding. Circles, his jump shot's short, but the rebound is put back is good for Walters. Walters now has 6 points, and it's a 4-point Carl Albert lead. That's the closest it's been since the 3-point lead near the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, I think Randall's the guy who should be boxing out Walters, but Walters has gotten free a couple times on the offensive glass. That's kept Collinsville in this thing.
Rogers over to Randall. Randall looking for some space to drive into the lane. Gives it up, then gets it back. Now Garcia. Now Garcia gives it to Royal. Royal gets a couple defenders in the air before giving it back to Matthews, and Matthews is going to draw the foul on the floor.
Royal had the shot. He needs to have confidence he can finish around the basket here. It's not like he's that undersized. Collinsville's not that tall. They don't have that, like I mentioned earlier, that 6'9" player from last year.
Circles, Kavanaugh, called for the foul. His first personal was the jump shot from the right elbow in and out for Garcia. Royal with the rebound and the putback, but it doesn't go. And here comes Collinsville. 3-on-2 break. And they're going to be Austin Normandin drawing the foul. He misses the shot, but he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws. Free throws brought to you by Tooney Buys Homes. Tooney Buys Homes in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, they pay cash at 405-931-3046.
And then that free throw way off.
Very short.
Normandin is clearly left-handed. Tried to attack the basket again, going right and finishing with his left. If he went to his right, I'm always going to preach this for high school players because a lot of them don't do it. But if you just trust your offhand, you have a better chance of creating a 3-point play.
Just checking back in for the Titans is Austin Johnson, who had 6 points in the first half.
He played real well, especially in that high post area. Let's see if they go back to him there.
It's a 31-28 Carl Albert lead as the ball's taken away from Matthews, but he gets it back and out to Jordan Hawkins for a 3-pointer. That's a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3-point shot, and Jordan Hawkins has 7.
You know, the reserves for Carl Albert, you mentioned now Hawkins with 7 and Johnson
with 6.
Yeah, they played better than the starters.
And the team itself has spread the scoring throughout.
Yeah, I have no idea who to get player of the game to right now.
It's a good thing we got a quarter to go.
Yep.
Nice look underneath the basket to an open Kavanaugh, who lays it in off the glass. That cuts the Titans' lead to 4.
Great dish there. I don't know who to give it to for Collinsville either if they come back. They're definitely very much in this thing.
They've got 4 players with 6 points right now. Cross court to Royal on the baseline. His pass intended for Hawkins is deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Carl Albert with 2.5 minutes to play in the third.
Royal had missed a shot a minute ago. That was probably a shot he should have kicked it out. And there's a couple of times where he kicked it out. He probably should have shot it, or at least I would like to have seen it on that play.
Deflection there on the pass by Normandin. He's going to keep it with the Titans.
We are seeing Normandin and other Cardinals do a better job of playing the passing lane in this zone. They're making it a little bit harder for Carl Albert to pass the ball on the wing, and that's going to be an offensive, I think.
No, wow. It's a defensive foul against Aiden Anderson.
As you know, the visitors sit on our side, Sean, and you can hear some of their displeasure.
Their feelings?
Yeah, I think they're right, though. I think
it might have been the right call.
Yeah, Rogers got away with one.
That's the first personal foul on Anderson.
Wow, it's good and physical there on the perimeter with Rogers and whoever's guarding him.
Matthews gets the pick, goes around it, gets picked up on the other side. Royal gets a good look underneath. He has his shot. Late call, but he's going to draw the foul. I'm assuming it's going to give him the shot on that. They are. That's the second personal foul on Walton Kavanaugh. That's going to send LeBron Royal to the free throw line to shoot 2. This free throw is brought to you by Toonie Buys Homes. First one is up and in.
That's a very good pass, by the way, by Austin Johnson. You know, he left his feet, probably could have shot it, but he found Royal in the last minute.
Second free throw on its way, and it's short. Rebound goes off of Carl Albert, I believe. It looked like Austin Johnson almost had it there, just couldn't corral it. Goes out of bounds off of him and back to Collinsville.
Yeah, Collinsville stayed in this game this quarter. Last quarter they started scoring in the second, last half. They started scoring in the second quarter to catch up. Now it's their defense. They've been defending a lot better in their 2-3 zone.
Yeah, they've held Carl Albert to very few points here in this third quarter as the foul is called on the drive. Kavanaugh's going to draw the foul. It's going to be Brandon Rogers' second. 14 foul against the Titans. Both teams now with 4 team fouls.
There was a point in the second quarter I was wondering, like, man, should Collinsville stay in their zone? Doesn't seem like it's working, especially when Carl Albert had that alley-oop play. But they're starting to tighten things up. So it's an example of if your zone's not working, the answer is not always to leave the zone. It's just try to find ways to tighten some things up and make sure you're moving around the ball better.
Second free throw goes in for Kavanaugh. He now has 7 on the game. Excuse me, he has 10 on the game. This is what happens when I try to keep my own stats. That's what Tracy's here for.
Yes, appreciate him. It's not easy. He's good at that.
He is good at it. I am.
I have our boss at the OSN, Eric Sheeran. He's really good at producing while he calls play-by-play and consistently getting replays on the screen. I don't know how he does it.
I don't know how he does that either.
I don't know how Tracy keeps stats while he does play-by-play.
It's not an easy task. No. Back the other way comes the Titans,
nice
and with
play.
the reverse layup is Austin Johnson.
And some of these guys coming off the bench for Carl Albert, if this game stays close, they should stay in the game, or at least finish the game.
That layup gave Johnson 8. He's the leading scorer for the Titans right now. Normandin giving it off to Schloman. Schloman, turnaround jump shot is short. Rebound goes to Hawkins. 45 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Perimeter passing from the Titans. Now go cross court. Johnson thought about it and then pulled it back out. No hesitation there from Thomas. Doesn't go, but he gets his rebound. Putback's no good, but he's going to draw the foul, and he'll shoot some Toonie Buys Homes free throws.
Thomas is in that similar mold to LeBron Royal. Not the tallest guy, but you can see he's explosive around the basket and is really strong.
His first free throw is good.
Kavanaugh's been a workhorse for Collinsville in this game, and he's picked up 3 fouls in about the last 4 minutes.
The Cardinals with 5 team fouls now. So Carl Albert will shoot 2 free throws no matter what for the next 26 seconds. As the second free throw is no good, but Hawkins is there for the rebound.
So
Carl Albert holds for the last shot. I think they will, which is something you can easily do against a zone. We saw them do that at the end of the first quarter.
Didn't end up with the shot they wanted, though.
On the
Or
first
wait,
quarter,
no, I'm sorry. That was Collinsville that ended up with the wrong shot. Floater is up and in for Elijah Matthews. That's his first 2 points, and that's going to bring it into the first quarter. A nice closing stretch there at the third for the Titans. And after 3, they lead Collinsville 40-31. This is the Titan Classic on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
Welcome back to Carl Albert High School in the 2025 Titan Classic here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. I'm Sean Thurman alongside Jordan Ray. Tracy over here keeping stats. Dedrick running the show.
Bernie Wren running camera, doing a good job. I want to say something real quick here. Think about how these last 3 quarters ended. You had a Brandon Rogers floater at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, I believe it was Xavier Garcia hit a 3. And then we see Matthews score at the end of the third quarter. That's 7 points right there, and that's a big 7 points with it a 9-point lead.
Carl Albert, just everybody on the floor contributing offensively as Matthews gets his shot back and puts it back in.
So he was quiet this game, and now he's the last 2 baskets for Carl Albert.
He's got 4 in the game, and it's up to an 11-point lead for Carl Albert, their biggest lead of the game. No, it's not, actually. It was a bigger lead in the first. They had a 13-point lead.
Biggest lead, wild.
Yes, 3-pointer on the way is good for Aiden Anderson. He's got 4 points, and that cuts the lead to 42-34.
Bobby Lewis 3 made there, and Collinsville, you give him credit. You know, it looks like Carver, they're going on a run, and Collinsville, they do respond eventually. We'll see if they can do enough of it to make this close.
3-pointer for Matthews on the way. It's short. Rebound being fought for. It's going to go out of bounds off of Collinsville. The 2025 Titan Classic is brought to you by J.R. Rowlett Realty. Thinking of buying or selling your home? Give J.R. Rowlett a call at 405-445-8971. Titans inbound to Austin Johnson. He's going to set up the offense on this 2-3 zone.
Again, it's amazing Collinsville stuck with it this long. But it has worked a lot of times, and at times Carl Albert's been able to find the open guy in a gap. It's now looking like a 3-2 zone.
Carl Albert in no rush with the 8-point lead. More than happy to run some time off the clock. Second half brought to you by CK12 Designs at 820 North Broadway. Across from Hideaway Pizza. And Elijah Matthews coming alive here in the second half. He now has 6.
Yeah, again, he wasn't doing much at all the first, we'll say, 2 quarters plus 7/8 of 1 quarter. And he scored a last-second shot in the third quarter, and he's now in a rhythm.
Jackson Webster, who just checked in, called for his first personal foul. It's the first team foul against the Titans.
My first introduction to Jackson Webster, well, I know his mom. I used to work with her at Middle City High School, but also baseball last year. He was a courtesy runner.
It's a good gig. You can get it.
Yeah, you can rely on someone else to get on base for you.
It's exactly what I was in middle school baseball. I wasn't getting on base on my own.
Well, at least you're fast enough. I would never be considered for courtesy runner.
Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to stay with Collinsville.
And Jackson will be batting a lot more for Carl Albert baseball this year. They lost a ton of seniors from a great team last year that won back-to-back state titles.
I got to call their state championship game. Timeout on the floor for Collinsville.
Timeout. All right, we'll ask our producer, Dedrick. Let's go ahead and look at tomorrow's action.
30 seconds.
And nice thing about tomorrow, well, it's the same time slots, but we'll see Carl Albert play last again, girls and boys. This time they'll play the other team coming from Tulsa, Sand Springs. And the game I'm looking forward to that I probably can't call it. I need to take a game off at some point. Edmond North and Norman, game 2 on the boys' side.
Bo Billingsley looked really good in that first game earlier against Sand Springs.
Well, and Edmond North, I forgot the name of their stud, but they had a good player score inside a lot, and it was a good come-from-behind effort. They were down a solid amount in the first quarter. They also have we'll call him a 7-footer on the team, Weaver. Officially 6'11", but that's close enough. We'll call him a 7-footer.
Once you get 6'11", nobody's counting anymore.
That's right.
Collinsville inbounding. Normandin being guarded by Rex Reynolds. Gets rid of it. Now we have Anderson in the lane.
3 seconds. Nope,
and
timeout.
Collinsville gets the timeout call before the 3-second call. They'll have 2 timeouts remaining following this one. It's another 30-second timeout. So, yeah, we'll get started tomorrow at 12 o'clock with a girls' game between Dell City and Putnam City.
And they are going to have standings in the winner. I don't know how that will work. What if the winner plays their last game early on Saturday and they want to go home? But, you know, they'll get recognized, I guess, one way or another. They may have a trophy shipped to their school or something.
Is there a tiebreaker, any sort of tiebreaker that's been decided? Or?
Right here. It's
okay, there's going 4 down. I hope it gets to the coin flip.
Josh says he doesn't want to see that happen, but I'm with you. It's just like you know, this is the era we're in 5A and 6A basketball. This doesn't impact standings. So what the heck? Use a coin flip.
Yep.
It's not going to determine who hosts the regional anymore.
Also takes me back to my favorite scene in the Friday Night Lights football movie, where they have to decide who goes to the playoffs with a coin flip. Imagine that. Inbounding for Collinsville, and they get a good look, and there to put it in is Dylan Circles, his first bucket of the game.
It's a good timeout play called by Coach Anderson. Now we'll see, not that Crowell will try to stall here, but they're going to try to work the ball around. Almost ran another alley-oop play. Matthews
has come alive here in the second half. He's up to 8 points now, matching Austin Johnson for the team high.
Well, one reason why he has, they moved him to the high post against the zone, so I think he's really taking advantage of that.
Underneath there is Normandin. His shot doesn't fall. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Collinsville. And with 5:01 remaining in the game and a 10-point lead, Carl Albert will inbound.
We'll see if Carl Albert, again, they didn't really run clock last time, but do they try to against the zone? At some point, will Collinsville have to change their defense some to try to force turnovers as we have another timeout called.
Carl Albert's going to take the full timeout with 5:01 remaining here in the fourth quarter. The Titans lead the Cardinals 46-36. We'll be right back. This is the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brunched it all right. What a burger!
Welcome back to Carl Albert High School in the 2025 Titan Classic on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 5:01 remaining in our final game of the day with Carl Albert leading Collinsville 46-36 and the Titans inbounding the ball.
Collinsville is extending their defense a bit. I don't know what that means, though. Looks like actually they're going man, though, so they are changing their defense here.
Kavanaugh trying to guard Matthews, who pulls up and shoots the long jump shot, misses but gets his own rebound, but his putback is blocked. And the Cardinals out in transition, get the layup from Aiden Anderson. That's his 6th point of the game, and that cuts the Titans' lead to 46-38.
Yeah, that's got to make Coach Price a little upset. The transition defense just not what you want it to be when you're protecting the lead.
Titans find themselves in a position where the lead's not big enough to just run clock. You still got to try to score. As Matthews' three is no good, but the rebound goes to Thomas. And we have a timeout this time by Carl Albert.
I think it's a 30. But Thomas, he's been a big factor in the offensive glass. Again, he's only 5'11", but he has the nose for the ball, kind of like LeBron Royal, which is, interestingly enough, I think LeBron Royal and Brandon Rogers have been out for the last few minutes. Now Rogers will come back in. But he's been a big factor in this game.
This is a young Titans basketball team, 11-2 on the season, only playing one starter, only playing one senior, two seniors on the roster. So they've got a lot to look forward to in the future here at Carl Albert, which seems to be the case every year.
Well, I thought they were going to take a step back this year because transferring out was Jaden Hopkins and Steven Anderson to Choctaw.
And Choctaw is very good this year.
And it's because they got those two. Or a big reason why, not the only reason, of course. But Carl Albert has reloaded very well.
Three-pointer on the way is no good for Darian Thomas. Rebound to Collinsville. They quickly get it across half court. Normandin lays it off the glass. He was just able to get by his defender and drop it in for two.
Again, this is just poor transition defense on the part of Carl Albert. They should not be losing a track match to Collinsville. They'll give the Cardinals credit for the way they're pushing it. But that's what's happening right now, and now Collinsville's back in this game.
Every single time it feels like Carl Albert might pull away. Collinsville gets it right back. It's now a 6-point lead for Carl Albert. Make it 9. That three-pointer brought to you by Bobby Lewis Insurance. Knocked down by Brandon Rogers, and it's a 49-40 Titans lead. Back the other way come the Cardinals. The contested lay-in attempt there by Anderson doesn't go.
The reason I say Brandon Rogers is the best returning player for Carl Albert, in my opinion, I'll never forget the game that Tracy and I did here a year ago against Crossings. I didn't know much about him at all, and he was their best player in the second half. An amazing comeback because we have a full timeout called by Collinsville, and I'll talk more about that. But that was quite a coming out party for a player.
49-40, Titans lead the Cardinals. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
Welcome back to the Titan Classic here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 3:19 remaining in the final game of the day. We'll resume play tomorrow at noon here at Carl Albert High School. It's Collinsville inbounds out of the timeout. Three-pointer is no good for Jarrett Bristol. Titans with the rebound and the 9-point lead with just over 3 minutes left to play.
Rex Reynolds the rebound. Say that 3 times fast. But he's also had another good game off the bench for the Carl Albert reserves.
One thing that's really stood out to me about this Carl Albert team is how much everyone has contributed.
Yep. Now, a mistake by Rogers. Probably didn't need to attack there. Again, you're protecting the lead. You want layups if you can get them, but they need to be where there's definitely an open lane. But more on what is his breakout game last year. He guarded Cal Furnish. I don't know if you heard that name from Crossings.
Yeah, the point. Yes, I'm very familiar. I saw him play when he was a freshman playing with Reed Lovelace, and those two kids could play.
Well, Rogers did an unbelievable job guarding him. Held him in check. We got a foul called on Rogers.
It was pretty blatant.
Yep. And then Rogers still hit 10 points in the second half. So he didn't let all that energy he was expending on defense stop him from scoring too. And again, they were down 15 points in the beginning of the fourth quarter and came back and won in regulation.
That's hard to do in high school basketball.
Yeah. I'll never forget that game.
Cal Furnish going to ORU to play college basketball. Inbound. It's to Circles. His shot's no good. Rebound. Goes to Hawkins. As the Titans quickly get it across half court. Matthews to Royal. Royal shot doesn't fall underneath the basket, but he is fouled and will shoot 2 free throws with 2:24 remaining. The Titans holding a 9-point lead. A foul's going to go on Circles. That's his first personal.
Royal just recently came back in. He's fresh. He's rested some in the first half because of foul trouble and recently come off the bench. But fresh does not mean you're going to be ready to shoot free throws.
That one was uncomfortably short for Royal as he cringed after shooting that one.
I mean, he's got plenty of strength, so he just misjudged some things.
As he gets ready to shoot his second Toonie buys Holmes free throw. And it's in. It is now a 10-point Titan lead, 50-40. Carl Albert leads Collinsville.
So all you'll see in the stat book is he went 1 of 2.
Bringing it back across the court for Collinsville is Anderson. And he gets it back in the corner for 3. It's no good, but he gets fouled by Jackson Webster.
Okay, Tracy, I got to ask you, was there a fouled three-point shooter in the Norman Sand Springs game you did? Was there a fouled three-point shooter?
I'm sorry. I'm having trouble hearing you. I apologize.
Okay.
There we go. I got you now.
Was there a fouled three-point shooter in the Norman Sand Springs game?
In the Norman Sand Springs game? Not that I recall. Yes.
There was? Okay.
There was, yes.
So we've had one every game this today.
The one cardinal sin has been committed by somebody in every game as the second free throw by Anderson doesn't fall after he knocked down the first.
Well, the last time you and I called a game together, Jordan, it was Del City Lawton, and that game ended with a foul on a three-point shooter.
Well, that didn't lead to 3 free throws because he made it.
Exactly. It did lead to a win, though.
Amazing ending. Yeah.
That was the go-ahead shot.
Was that just a couple of days ago?
It's like 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay. I think I saw the clips of that one, actually.
9 days ago. 9 days ago.
Three-pointer on the way from the corner is good for Jordan Hawkins.
Boy, he could shoot.
He's in double figures off the bench.
They call us a Johnson, but that's wrong. But, yeah, that's not a time you normally want to shoot a 3, but you make it.
Ball almost lost by Normandin, but he gets it back with Collinsville trailing by 11. Into the lane and off the glass is Anderson. His shot doesn't fall. Royal with the rebound, and he quickly gets it out to Austin Johnson, who's fouled with 1:28 remaining. And if Collinsville is going to foul for the rest of this game, we might have a long last 128 with an 11-point lead.
Yeah, but they got to foul some more if they want to force free throws.
They got to foul 2 more times just to force free throws.
3 more times. They're at 2.
What was it? Well, was it 2 when they
I thought it was
announced
2,
that, but maybe they haven't updated. But the three-pointer is no good, but Collinsville with the rebound. And quickly back the other way are the Cardinals. Anderson's trapped in the corner, and they're going to get a foul called on Carl Albert with 1:10 remaining. That's their 15th foul. Scoreboard only showing 2 for Collinsville. I could have sworn it was 3, but.
Tracy, do you remember more fouls or?
No, I believe that might be it. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's accurate, but I'm not tracking fouls by quarter, so.
Yeah, you don't need to. After all, we have that. But it's supposed to be reliable, and we'll see. Maybe it is.
First free throw is good as that foul was on Rogers. That's his 4th personal, and both free throws are good as we got a timeout with 1:10 left to play.
See, this is on, and it's
going to be a Collinsville timeout, a full timeout.
I think.
That's their last one. And we'll take a timeout with them. 53-44. Carl Albert leads on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Back here at Carl Albert High School for the 2025 Titan Classic, and the remaining 1:10 left to play in the game, with Carl Albert holding on to a 9-point lead, 53-44. Both these teams back in action tomorrow. Collinsville will be playing Norman North at 4:30. Carl Albert against Sand Springs at 7:30.
You know, I'm not sure why Coach Anderson called that timeout. Now that they have none, anytime Collinsville scores, Carl Albert can let the clock bleed without inbounding it.
Yep. Good question I had myself, as they don't seem as insistent on fouling. Well, they're definitely trying. And they succeed finally with 51 seconds, so 20 seconds ticked away before they were able to get that foul. Still only the third team foul.
Yeah, ideally, you gotta try to deny the pass here. You gotta try to make it hard to throw it in. That's what you want. Get a quick steal, but not very many teams are equipped to do that. We'll see if Collinsville can.
Inbounding is going to be Randall. He gets it into Rogers. Rogers had to go up to bring that one down. His pass to Randall's deflected, but Randall gets it. Now is just trying to stay away. And so they finally foul him with 44 seconds left, and with every second that ticks away, it just makes these fouls less and less necessary, as now it's a 9-point lead with 45 seconds left to play, and they still have to foul them one more time before they even send them to the free throw line.
They made a good attempt at a steal earlier, not that time.
Rogers.
Now they made a good attempt at a steal.
So Randall to Thomas underneath, and Thomas is going to pick up the foul, and that will be 5 on Collinsville. And Thomas will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws with 38 seconds left to play.
You know, even on that foul called, and that foul is called on Walters, at least he made a play at the jump ball. You know, I'm a fan of, in this situation, when you foul trying to create a turnover before you have to give up and foul wrapping around and making it clear. So Collinsville did that, still got called for a foul, but that's the type of foul you want.
Thomas knocks down both of his Tooney buys Holmes free throws. He buys Holmes in any condition and will make you a cash offer at 405-931-3406. Collinsville trails by 11. Jump shot short, rebound, goes to Jordan Hawkins. And they're going to get the foul on they're going to foul Darian Thomas.
Now, since this is our last game of the day, we can be more deliberate about this and announcing it, but I have no convictions when it comes to Carl Albert player of the game here.
I have to say, for a while I was thinking D'Elijah Matthews, because the way he came alive in the late third, early fourth quarter is really when Carl Albert started to separate, but the way Jordan Hawkins has played off the bench, I think he may be leading the team in scoring. If not, he's very close.
You know, I would probably give Hawkins the nod over Matthews.
Let's do it. Let's go ahead and call it. Your triple elite screen printing player of the game is going to be Jordan Hawkins, as Carl Albert gets 2 with 13 seconds. Triple elite screen printing, where you can find world-class designs and hot new styles, as Collinsville still fouling with 7 seconds left to play.
Well, we talked about this, I think, last game. You just keep fouling until you're told not to. It doesn't matter what the score is or how much time's left. And this game is clearly now over.
Matthews' first free throw is no good. The 2025 Titan Classic brought to you by J.R. Rowlett Realty. Let J.R. Rowlett find your perfect home today. Call 405-445-8971.
So the last 2 games, we see Carl Albert pull away, but these have been very competitive games for the day. We've seen some very close endings.
Matthews now with 10 points after those 2 free throws. So So he's going to finish in double figures, and that's going to bring an end to this one as the Titans open up the 2025 Titan Classic with a 58-46 victory over Collinsville. J.R. Rowlett Realty, the title sponsor for the Titan Classic. They're client-focused and results-driven. Call J.R. Rowlett for all your real estate needs. 405-445-8971. Tracy, was it Matthews and Hawkins only players to finish in double-figure scoring for the Titans?
That is correct. Matthews finished 1 point ahead of Hawkins, and all of Matthews' points except 2 came in the fourth quarter.
So Elijah Matthews leading the Titans in scoring with 11. Hawkins with 10 off the bench. They lead the Titans to the victory here today. Jordan, any final thoughts?
No, not really. I think this game went about as you expect, and tomorrow they'll rearrange the matchups, but we know what they are ahead of time, which is nice. And it's only 6 games in, so, still in the 850. When we had 8 games a day, those games went long and ended well into the night. So,
well, that's going to do it for us here at Carl Albert High School on the first day of the 2025 Titan Classic. Carl Albert finishes the day off with a 58-46 victory over Collinsville.
Let's show real quick the schedule for tomorrow one last time. Just let everyone take a look at it who's watching. And again, they rearrange the matchups, some good matchups. And again, they are going to reward a winner on the boys and girls side. So it's based on standings and some other stuff. We'll see who has the best weekend.
Round robin play will continue throughout the weekend, and we'll be back tomorrow at noon here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.